going to learn some yoga poses to help with low back pain. You have to start by getting loosened up. So we're going to reach to the ceiling and down to the floor. Breathing in, breathing out, in, out. Tighten your stomach as you come up. Breathe out as you go down. The objective, of course, is to try to keep your feet flat. Try to get your hands flat. And, you know, the reason that your back gets to hurting is that all these muscles get tight and short from sitting in the car, sitting at the desk. And so what we have to do is stretch them out. So when I got my feet flat on the ground, I'm trying to think of pushing my butt up to the ceiling. That's stretching out some of these big muscles down in the legs that are attached to the low back. Then I'm trying to push my hands flat on the floor. The next stretch would be to bring your face closer to your knees. Again, trying to keep this as straight as possible, butt pushing up to the ceiling. The next one is downward facing dog. You want to make sure your feet are hip width apart. Try to get your heels into the floor. Try to get your hands flat on the ground. You're thinking about pushing your feet and your hands into the ground. Top of your head coming down into the ground. And your butt going up to the ceiling. And breathe. Breathing out on the exertion. Next, we're going to come down and onto all fours. This pose is called table. See how my back is nice and flat? And this goes into cat-cow. Think about how a cat, when they hiss at you, curve their spine up like this. And then the opposite, cow. I don't know why it's called cow. Breathing in on cow and out on cat. I have my hands and knees and the tops of my feet pushing into the carpeting, tightening up this core, pushing my shoulders down and my core up. And then the opposite. Now my butt pushing up to the ceiling, my shoulders pushing up to the ceiling, getting as much of an arch in that low back as possible. Do that as much as you can, maybe a minute. Now we're going to do windshield wipers. The secret to windshield wipers is they have to keep your upper body, your shoulders, your elbows, your hands flat on the ground. Bring your knees up to your chest, okay? Get your back flat on the ground. Push your hands and shoulders into the ground and just windshield wiper your knees back and forth. The objective is to try to go all the way to the floor. If you can't go all the way to the floor, you know, just go as far as you can. And breathe. When you get more limber, you can start to take your legs out more. When you get even more limber, you can take one leg, lay it flat on the ground, come up on your side of your hip, and bring the opposite leg into the opposite hand. So I'm stretching my right hand out to the right, my left foot out straight, and I got my right foot and my left hand over here. But this right shoulder is on the carpet. This helps stretch this low back in a sideways motion. Bring your knee up into your chest. Switch legs. Again, up on your hip. My left foot is in my right hand. My left shoulder on the carpet. Right foot straight out. And again, breathe. Stretching in all opposite directions. Bring both of your knees back into your chest. Push your low back into the floor. Curl your spine, curl up. This is important because you got to stretch this back out now that you've been using it. Curl up, curl your head into your knees, push your low back into the floor, If you do those 4 or 5 moves, 5 minutes every day, maybe twice a day, you'll feel better.